Well, good morning, Jesse of South Paw Bushcraft. Remember a while back I did a video and I told you instead of showing you a specific fire kit, I was going to show you fat wood. Okay, now I've taken some time this morning. I had a little time to spare. Remember I showed you this piece of wood and I told you now this is not the best fat wood I've ever had, but this is how you find the best fat wood, by finding the rotten looking stumps and you dig them up. Let me turn this over here so you can see that right there, okay? That's the knot where a limb came out. You see this? I got two more limbs. That's where you find the really good fat wood, is in the knots inside the tree. Or if you were to follow this all the way down to where I cut it off, down below it here would have been the root ball. And you will find a lot of that kind of fat wood right there. You see that? See that right there? That's the fat wood that I'm talking about, that brown stuff right here. I shaved off here, and that is as smooth as glass and as hard as rock inside a punk rotten tree. This is the point I'm making, Jesse. That's how you find the really good fat wood. And like I said, that stuff is as hard as rock. And you know how difficult that is to shave off? Well, let me show you here. I spent 10 minutes shaving on it. You see this little container? That's all I got after 10 minutes of shaving on that hard brown spot. That ain't much fat wood shavings for 10 minutes work. But you know what? That stuff will take a spark and burn like gasoline. Okay, dearie? That's what I'm showing you here, okay? That's the good stuff. Now, remember what I told you. You notice I've only done just a little bit. Pardon the noise, I've got a school bus going by me just now. Remember what I told you in the other video, Jesse. This is also why I stopped at that small amount of fat wood shavings, and I put them inside of a plastic container like that with a lid, okay? The longer you keep your fat wood in one solid chunk, the longer it'll keep its ginger and burn like gasoline the minute you throw sparks on it. But you got to shave it each time you want it. Well, I'll catch you later, Jesse. You remember that chunk of wood I was just showing you? That is all the stuff that was on the outside, and it has absolutely no fat wood value left. It's literally rotten punk wood. That was the outside of that chunk. And that's what this is going to become right here. This is going to become charred punk wood, this right in here. Because that's all that is. That's all it's good for. Now let me show you what came of that chunk of pine tree. I've got this piece of fat wood. It's nice, huh? And then remember I was telling you about those limbs? Look at the fat wood down inside there. Can you see that? And this one I haven't split in half, but well, can you see it in there in the center? Remember, as big a chunks as you can stand. That's a little piece that broke off. That's fat wood. And then I got this piece. Okay, can you see the color in the wood? And as I roll it over, look at right here where the limb split out. Can you see the color in that limb joint? Wow. Okay. Then there's this one, which was right beside it, and there's the limb that came out of it. You see the resin in that limb piece? But yet this is all fat wood all the way down here. Now, it's not the best fat wood down here at the bottom. The best fat wood in this piece is right there and right here where this limb came out. That's good. On this piece, the best fat wood is going to be here and right up in here. Okay, right up in here, all the way up to this piece where I was whittling on it, and I showed you the little right there. This is full of fat wood, but it's also got some rot left on it that I didn't get to. But that's okay. And then this all down through here is a certain amount of fat wood. And then we got this piece here. It's all fat wood right up through here. And, oh, Right up through here is some, and right there, look at that. Right here at this very edge, right there. That's all fatwood right there. This is the kind of stuff you want, Jesse. And like I say, this is from, all of this comes from 2 feet above the ground. I still got to process the root ball that was in the ground. And I showed you that, but I haven't touched it yet to process it, okay? So, that much fatwood come out of that huge piece I just showed you a little bit ago. And all the stuff that's inside this tin box, yeah, most of it got in there, not all of it. See, some of it down here yet I ain't picked up yet. But that's all going to become charred wood for catching sparks from ferro rod, or to catch an ember with a magnifying glass, like a Fresnel lens. So you see, Jesse, there are very few things I count myself as an out-and-out expert on. Fire making is one of them, okay? Also in the nursing profession, I'm an expert in the nursing profession. Blacksmithing, well, there are people out there that know more than I do, granted, but I'm just pretty good at that. So, for today, this is Emberado at Emberado Smithing and Woodcraft in central New England. Peace out. I'll make do, Jesse. Look at this. This is what I'm using as a hatchet these days. Nothing but a number 8 meat cleaver. Now, you're going to ask me, why am I doing that? Well, ladies and gentlemen, remember I told you about the arsonist that burned my truck to the ground? Yeah, even the handle is taking a beating on this. I'm going to have to duct tape that. You see, it's simple, ladies and gentlemen. I had 2 very nice tomahawk hatchets. They were in my Ram. I told you, there's stuff I haven't yet been able to replace because I just can't afford it because the insurance never paid off the way it was supposed to. So I'm having to make do. And this work is too small for my El Cheapo axe, which is way too big for the job. So I'm making do with what I've got. That's what they mean by make do.